Guess who's back? Holy Toledo! Just got finished with a run. I know it's been a while since we checked in. A lot's been going on in life. Not a whole lot on my Strava activity though, so but we'll break things down. But it's safe to say we're back at it, getting in the rhythm of things. It's December 24th, Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, all those good old holidays in December. Whew, man, I can't believe the last time I pulled this thing out was August in the 50 miler. Oh man, I guess that's that. But man, I missed it. I made a bunch of personal excuses to not pull out the GoPro, but here we are. We're back, day one. I decided today will be my day one instead of the New Year, so New Year will be my day 8, but we got a long way to go because I am winded. Like, I just ran a 50K and I ran I think a half a kilometer, if that. No, 1.5 miles. I'm not sure what that translates into, but whew, it's the starting point, so it's always good to start low. Got nowhere to go but up. Well, I guess I could go lower technically, but hey, let's not think that way. You know, Mr. Positivity over here. Whew. Well, I'm sure everybody's wondering, where's Training for Life been? T4L? Man, well, I guess T4L took a little break after Father's Day. Let's see, last time we checked in. Let's run the clip. Two and a half more miles. Giving it everything I got, that's for sure. Almost there. So yeah, that was last time that you saw me on the camera going out for a marathon on Brioni's. Woo, man, it feels like a lifetime ago. But so that was mid-June, and then you know, just didn't record a lot. Kind of you know, lost my rhythm and things like that. But I always thought about it. I really enjoy making videos. I enjoy creating things. Kind of, you know, tails back into all the other things I've done in my life, where I like to create, or you know, just do stuff. You know, I like to have hobbies. So after that, then we had July. So then that's when I did the Woodside 50K, which I do have some clips from that. So I'll go ahead and run that.
3, 2, 1, start! Have fun out there, everybody!
All right. About 12 miles in, just under 3 hours, 2,300 feet of climbing. So far, so good. Roughly right on pace of where I want to finish, so we can't complain. But, whew, man, I forgot how much fun this is getting out here. But heading a straight downhill right now for quite a while, but I have a feeling I'm gonna have to go back up it. So guys, stay calm, stay in the pocket. You know how it is. But got 2 aid stations down. I really did. I think I mentioned this last clip, but I forgot how nice it is to have aid stations. So I'll check in a little bit. You know, this 50K was actually one of my fastest 50Ks I've ever done. Still a good amount of vert. I'll put the stats on the screen just for, you know, everybody to see, but definitely it was, I believe, the fastest 50K I've done. It was nice and shady, especially in July, up on the coast. So I, you know, had a great time out there. And then after that, that's when I knew my destiny was coming. I knew that 50-mile race was staring me right in the eyes. August, we had been hyping this up on the vlog, and whew, man, nothing short of excellent from that. So I'll go ahead and I'll make sure that we get some clips rolling from that. You know, Taylor was out there with me for, do we even want to say how long we were out there for? 17 hours. Oh my. What the heck do you do for 17 hours other than just suffer and cry, but we had a really good time. As you can see through these clips, our spirits were pretty high. It was just a tough day. We both kind of rode opposite lows, you know, like I was fine for, you know, most of the, you know, the first half of the race, and then I hit a wall and he was still going, and then when he hit a wall I kind of bounced back. So it was just, you know, that's just how these ultra things work. Will you grab me an Oreo?
Okay, is that all?
For now, yeah.
Want a drink? Like Coke?
No, I'm good. All right, we're at mile 37. Just checked in with Adriana and my mom. Ava was snapping, but we're doing good. We're hanging in there. It definitely got, you know, as expected, got very difficult towards the last couple, maybe last 10 miles or so. I've been fairly slow, but you know, we're in good spirits, and that's half the battle. So knowing that we got to go 13 more miles to glory, so it's about to get dark. Just put on the jacket, gonna get the headlamp out and just get ready to crunch out these miles with Taylor. But yeah, that's what we signed up for. So coaching in on 37 miles, one of my longest runs almost. So longest I've done is 39. So pretty soon here we'll be entering uncharted waters. But yeah, staying positive, but man, I'm questionable. I'm kidding. Now I'm gonna finish strong. Excited to see everybody at the finish line, but we'll get some more footage as we continue and get our headlamps on and just keep pounding away.
Just throw on the stove, man. Yeah.
We can't cook food, but we can cook liquids. People want coffee.
We're still in the fight. But since then, you know, to be honest, not a whole lot. So I guess you go mid-August to mid-December, about 4 months. Nothing really. Just a couple, really, I mean, like a couple casual runs throughout those months. It was hard. Just, I don't know if that race or prepping for the race or just what was, you know, life. Just, running just seemed like such a hassle. Like putting on my shoes, just, I made everything just long and drawn out and more complicated than it needed to be. So that's kind of what I had told myself for the last couple months. There, you know, there's a couple days I would start and then stop and start and then stop. But nothing really, you know, that I actually am proud to admit. I think I'll put the stats on the screen, but I don't think I ran more than 100 miles over just the last 4 months. So that is not at the caliber that I was at, hoping to be at, heading into this new year. But, you know, with the new year, you know, things are kind of calming down. You know, everybody's kind of getting ready for their New Year's resolutions. And I've always thought, New Year's resolutions are dumb. But you know what? This year, I'm going to take it with stride. I'm going to kind of just use it as an excuse to get back on track, making these videos, which I really do enjoy making. You know, I like using all that software and uploading to YouTube. So I'm going to get back into that. But I do have some goals laid out for 2022, which is pretty crazy to think that we're already in 2022. But yeah, got some goals. So we'll go ahead and we'll break that down. Kind of go over a little bit because the last ultra event I did was the 50 miler. So kind of what we'll do, we'll check in a couple more runs this week. This was really just to kind of, you know, get the system going. Next week we kind of start building back up the mileage, and we'll go ahead and be sure to break down some of the 50-mile race, kind of what went wrong, what went right. I know it's been a couple months, but I think it's good to kind of dive into that because that was the last like real test of endurance that I did. And as I head into this new year, and I really want to kind of hammer out these endurance events on foot and bike, because your boy's getting a bike. Shout out to Adriana for the Christmas gift. I'm so juiced. It's been a while, but hopefully I still know how to ride it. But that's it. Don't they say that's the one thing you never forget how to do? Tie your shoes and ride your bike. So been tying my shoes, thankfully, but I haven't been riding the bike. But anyway, enough of that. I'm excited. It's going to be a good year of endurance. You know, whether hopefully COVID allows races to go on, but even if not, making sure I have my pivots and really just making sure that I'm building things back up. So we'll check in on the next run. Actually, we'll check in before the next run, kind of break things down previously, kind of what happened these last 4 months, recap the 50-mile race, and then we'll kind of look into the next month because I do actually have a couple races that I signed up for that we're gonna have to get ready for. So looking forward to it. If you're still watching this, you know, halfway through the video, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And we're gonna start cranking these bad boys out once a week, because like I said, this is fun. I do it for fun, and let's get it. All right, talk to you later. All right, unpacking the Whoop 4.0. I've been waiting on this since September. Finally here. Use the Whoop 3.0. Unlock yourself. Ooh, yeah, so they had some delays with like supply chain or whatever, so I've been waiting on it for a while. Oh my, look at this. So perfect. So basically what this does is it tracks like oxygen. It tracks, I'll put it on the screen, tracks a bunch of other stuff that the previous Whoop didn't do. But this is gonna be essential to kind of taking things to the next level. So I'm really excited to be using this as I start really kind of, you know, upping my fitness game and upping my fitness level as the new year starts. Oh, look at this. It's even, oh, now that's a cool looking charger. Look at this. You see that? Boom. So I'm excited to get this going. We'll be sure to kind of break down how we're going to be using this more as the weeks come on, but I just got it literally as I was coming back from my run, so I figured I'd open it up, and oh man, I'm excited. So we'll check in later, but yeah, Whoop, unlock yourself. All right, out here getting my Wednesday run in. Like I said in the last clip, about a 6 mile trail run. Feeling pretty good out here on the Acalanes Ridge. It's wet, it's muddy, but I got the Speedgoat 4s on, so kind of giving me a little bit of traction. But I also brought a friend along. Yoo-hoo! I'll try to get a better clip on my phone or zoom in a little bit, but there's a cute little coyote just staring me down. But it's a good thing I'm not moving too fast. So hopefully he just keeps staring at me. Or he honestly doesn't really care about me. But yeah, I wasn't even gonna check in on this run, but I decided not every day you see a coyote out here. So checking in. All right, well, I'll talk to you next time when we do the 50-mile breakdown. And there he goes, running away. But yeah, we'll check in at the 50-mile breakdown. So far so good. I wasn't even gonna check in on this clip, but here we are. And went out for a run earlier today. As you saw on the schedule earlier this week, I did have a 6-mile run up on the menu. So went over the Acalanes Ridge, got about 1,000 feet of climbing, give or take. So pretty good. But what I'm here right now is to go ahead and break down the 50-mile race. So there's a couple things I have here on my notes. So if you see me look up, there's 2 positives and 2 negatives. You know, I could deep dive into this. I could talk about this for hours, but it's just kind of a high-level overview. So we'll start with the positives. We'll go 1 positive, 1 negative. How's that sound? Sound great? Nobody complains, so I guess I'll go with it. So first positive, I would say was the nutrition, my hydration. It was really good. I felt like I was very hydrated. I didn't feel like I had any stomach issues, anything like that. I felt pretty good the entire day regarding nutrition and hydration. So that was one thing that I was kind of worried about, especially as the miles go on, as the day ends and the night begins. You know, you can kind of start to fall out of the pocket, get a little nervous, and start messing things up with that. So very glad that I was able to hold on to that. One of the negatives is I did experience really bad cramping really early on in the race. So about mile 16, I did almost fall to the ground. I'll see if there's a clip if I can find it, but I did fall to the ground almost on a downhill about 16 miles in, which is not good when you have 34 more miles to go. So one thing that I think led to that, I don't think it was a nutrition or a hydration issue. It felt more of like a muscle tightness, almost like my hip flexors kind of like locked up, and then my quads kind of locked up as well. But I think that that is directly related to stretching or lack thereof, I guess. So I definitely think going into this next training block this new year, that's going to be one of the things that I have to prioritize, because I'm really seeing, you know, what happens when you don't stretch. So as much as I hate it, as boring as it is, I definitely will commit to getting myself more flexible for situations like that. Now, thankfully, I was able to bounce back. I did have a banana that kind of, you know, sat down, stretched, squat a little bit at the next aid station, but just the mental kind of fortitude that I had to bring to go 34 more miles after falling to the ground because of cramping was really tough. But like I said, you know, we're not going to dwell on these negatives. They're just things that I want to touch base on. And then for the positives, so like I did mention earlier, I was riding a pretty bad low, so about 50k or so, which is about 30 miles. 50 kilometers, 30 miles. I did kind of just hit a wall. You know, that was kind of the distance that I'm used to running, was 30 miles. So kind of once I hit that, I was like, oh God, like I got 20 more miles to go. So what happened was, I don't know, like I got in my head a little bit, but I also was doing a pretty good job at staying out of my head. I'll go ahead and I'll play a clip from I'll play it before this, but a clip from about the 25 mile mark where you kind of check in, because you do 2 loops for that race. All right, at the halfway point, about 25 miles in, 6 hours and 36 seconds, or 6 hours and 36 minutes. Feeling pretty good. The quads are locking back up, but I'm gonna take some salt and change my hat, my buff, get a little fresh, and see what we're made of on this back half. So we're doing good though, staying positive. Me and T are really keeping each other going. He's keeping me going maybe more than I'm keeping him going, but we're doing this together. So it's been a blast so far, but it's gonna get ugly in the back half. But that's what we do it for. We do it for moments like this that are coming up. We just know it's waiting in the wing, and we just gotta go head first. So I'll check in a little bit, get out of the aid station, get dressed up, changed, eat some calories, and get on with my life. So I was still in pretty good spirits, but shortly after that, just kind of, you know, leaving the aid station's tough. That's one of those hard things about these loop races, is you have to go to the aid station and then you gotta leave. But how we spin this into a positive, after that 10-mile low from about mile 30 to mile 40, where you've seen the check-in earlier on my Instagram and earlier in this video of Taylor laying on the ground and me looking like I just got out of a battle, I was able to kind of bounce back. As the darkness set in, I was, you know, got kind of like I don't know, it was a second wind, a third wind, whatever. I got another wind that was able to kind of help me push through the last 10 miles. Now, I did not move very fast, but that's kind of more about the training aspect, the lack thereof for training and preparation, things like that. So very happy about that ability to bounce back and not fall into the pocket and fall into a hole, but kind of just, you know, I slipped up a little bit and I was able to get myself out. Now, another negative is probably the biggest negative that I think I experienced. Now, this was forgetting my squirrel's nut butter. So nut butter is kind of like an anti-chafing thing that you put on, put on your legs, put on your, your armpits, anything like that. Anything that's going to chafe, you want to lather that up. Now, I did not re-lather out mile 25. That was the biggest thing that I thought of while I was, heading into the aid station. I was running in there. I was like, all right, you got to grab the nut butter. Got to grab the nut butter. I forgot it. So I experienced some pretty bad chafing, which I think kind of bled into the low that I was riding for, those 10 miles between 30 and 40. But shout out to Wes Plate. If you watch trail running documentaries and trail running videos, you know who Wes Plate is. He was there at mile 40 just by the grace of God. And I don't know what it was. He clearly saw that I was hurting. He saw the same view you saw in that last clip of me just looking like I don't got a soul no more. And he's like, hey, is everything okay? I'm like, man, I got 10 more miles to go. I didn't use any, I haven't used any anti-chafe, any nut butter. He's like, dude, I got some extra, do you want to use that? And so I do think that kind of helped me dig out of my hole. So that was one of the biggest negatives, but that just kind of goes back into staying in the pocket, staying controlled, and remembering those things when you're at the aid station. At mile 25, that's a huge mark when we're doing 2 25-mile loops. I'm back at the beginning. I have all my stuff there. I brought everything I needed. I need to sit there and take a mental note. Okay, did I grab my nut butter? Did I grab my poles? Did I grab this? Do I need to change my shoes? I think I was just feeling so good, from mile 20 to mile 25. just didn't even think about it. And then I was, until about mile 30, which I do think kind of bled into that low. But so those are the 2 positives and the 2 negatives from the 50-mile race. Definitely a lot to learn. I do really like the 50-mile distance. It's not too much, it doesn't like take up multiple days, but it's a lot more challenging than a 50K. So stay tuned. We're definitely gonna be doing a 50-mile race in the first half of this year. Still trying to iron out the details and figure out where I want to do it, but I do really like the headlands.